Hello, today's August 14th, 2025, and I have done my morning routine. I started with basketball to, fine-tune my executive functions, part of my favorite topic to talk about. I then went to the outdoor gym here in the neighborhood, and now I'm back at Skepparviken, Skippers Bay at Turholmsfjärden, half naked for sunshine and barefoot for earthing. And I cannot repeat how easy this is to apply and how this will improve your health. And I'm in a country where 77% of the women and 70% of the men are predicted to have a mental health diagnosis, and where death will gonna happen either by Alzheimer or ischemic heart disease. So, another comment on conversation. I posted a popular science article from my blog earlier today, and I would also like to comment about it for the very reason that some people prefer to read and some people prefer to listen just. And the key point is that yesterday I had a meeting with my mentor. So this is the guy who brought me here to Finland to accomplish something, as he typically say. And we had like a very long meeting. I think somewhere between 2 and 7 p.m. I had to cancel a lot of meetings because of this. But the take-home message was that we typically have such great conversations, and we really enjoy each other's company, and we also, because we have good conversations, we solve a lot of problems. And that's the message today. Now, food and conversations go hand in hand, because if you don't have mental health, you can't have a reasonable conversation. And as I said before, I have met with Finnish people who are very aggravated by the fact that I'm an expert and I'm from Sweden. So being an expert from Sweden seems to be the most horrible thing you can be in Finland. Mark the paradox. Their economy has been plummeting. I think it's a downtrend since 2007. I think it's much earlier. And the Prime Minister Orpo said that the Finnish economy have now plummeted to 1996 years level. That's 30 years ago. That's bad. And I'm a Swedish expert on entrepreneurship and innovative thinking. Well, what do you know? But why do we have the capacity to have conversations, and why do they become good? Well, Lucy, our predecessor, if you like, they lived 3.9 to 2.9 million years before the present, and then our genus came about. They existed like 2.8 million years before the present. So we're all Homo, actually. Interesting. And they had their brain was twice as big as Lucy's, and that gave room to new. It expanded, so they had a bigger prefrontal cortex, and with a bigger prefrontal cortex, you have room for new mental capacities. And these are the executive functions and verbal language. And for example, cognitive linguist, I would call him, or linguistic cognitive psychologist, Daniel Everett, claims that language was a proto-language, I guess he means, existed like 2 million years ago, because language is The syntax is just symbols in a linear fashion, according to Dr. Everett, which I think makes sense. And of course, over time, this have expanded. But we have a propensity, when we are small, we are born with a propensity to argue to win. We want to speak to win or talk to win. But the key point is to tame our devil, the devil within us, to talk or speak without winning, especially if there's heterodoxy, which is viewpoint diversity. Then we go back and forth over something, could be a very simple issue. And when we do that, we reach entrainment. And that's the reason my mentor and I could have such a long-standing conversation yesterday. And entrainment means rhythmic synchronization of behavior, and that includes conversations. And entrainment can also be described as the dancing of conversation or something like that. But in order to do this, you need to have a healthy brain, because the mind, which operates all this stuff, is what the brain does. And in order for the brain to be healthy, you need 30 micronutrients, tryptophan, choline, and animal omega-3 fats. You need to socialize. You need sunshine. You need earthing. You need to elevate the corners of your mouth, and you need dancing. Let's do all this, and see you next time.